Hey folks, welcome to The Bottom Line. I'm Michael Noland. Tonight is a members only video. I've got a question for you folks. What do you do when your favorite band ceases to exist? They're dead and gone. Some of their original members have passed away and they're not producing brand new music. Do you merely put up with collecting the few albums that they left us? Or do you get creative and create something that is truly them and yet at the same time something totally different? Well, no other band other than the Beatles could pull such a thing off. And of course, I'm talking about a brand new album that I just received for my birthday. Of course, it just came in and I checked it to see if indeed it was the album I ordered, and it was. And of course, I'm talking about the Beatles LOVE album. Now, this album was first put together with Giles Martin creating a mashup between the two songs Tomorrow Never Knows and Within You, Without You. That's right, there is a Harrison and Lennon song on this album. Now, the album was produced and put together not only by Giles Martin, but by his father, George Martin. In fact, this was the very last recordings and producing that George Martin did for the Beatles before he died. Of course, he continued to live for another 10 years, a decade, but his hearing had started going out. He retired. And so it turns out that it's on this album that you can hear the original Beatles team, their engineers, the Beatles themselves, and George Martin as well, being involved in creating this wonderful set of songs. Now, I'm not a big fan of mashups really at all, but this is the one time that I truly love what they did. Half the fun is trying to recognize what pieces they took out of other songs to put on the songs that they present on this album. Now, this whole thing started really with George Harrison and a friendship he had with the owner of Cirque du Soleil. Okay, they wanted Beatle music for one of their shows, and then Giles Martin did a mashup of Within You, Without You, and Tomorrow Never Knows. He showed it very hesitantly to Paul McCartney and Ringo Starr. Paul was super excited over this, saying, "Oh yeah, this is the way we ought to go." And so father and son got together, and with over 130 tracks they flew in from other songs for these tracks, they created somehow brand new Beatle music. The album sold well. Casual fans loved it, but it was the serious Beatle fans who were in for the real treat. Beatle fans who knew every portion of every song the Beatles ever did were in for a snipe hunt of sorts. Half the fun is trying to discover what guitar lines or keyboard part or bass line did that belong to before it wound up on this album. And that's my question to you folks, especially you Beatle fans out there. Is this an album that you have accrued for yourselves? Or are you one of those Beatle fans that said, "Nope, I'll take the original 13, I might get past Masters," because those are the songs that didn't make it on any of their albums. So 14 at the most, that's all you're gonna have. And things like this, mashups, anthologies, they're just not your thing. I want to hear from each and every one of you. Let me know what you think of the album Love. Is it worthy? Is it something that you have collected yourself? Have you even listened to it? And what are your final thoughts on the final product itself? Was it something that was worth purchasing? Some of the songs are absolute marvels, where others seem like they were doing it just to flush out the album. All right, I'm going to be re-listening to this album. Sounds like I've got a video in the future concerning this album, and I want to hear from you. Any information you give on this video may well wind up on my next video when I cover this album in total. All right, I'm Michael Noland. This is The Bottom Line, and I want to thank each and every one of you members. You are keeping this channel alive. That's no joke, folks. And I hope to see you real soon.